Welcome to Driven to Succeed, where passion meets purpose and every step forward brings you closer to your dreams. The journey of self-discipline. In a small, quiet town nestled between rolling hills and winding rivers, there lived a young man named Ethan. A man of vast potential, Ethan had always dreamt of accomplishing great things, but he struggled with a persistent lack of self-discipline. His days were filled with distractions, procrastination, and unfinished projects. Despite his passion for success, Ethan could never quite harness the inner strength required to see things through. One crisp autumn morning, while walking along a tranquil path that led into the forest, Ethan met an elderly woman who seemed to radiate peace and wisdom. Her name was Mara, and though her hair was silver and her steps slow, there was a sharpness to her eyes that spoke volumes. As they exchanged pleasantries, Mara looked at him and said, "I see you are a man full of dreams, but also of distractions. Come, walk with me. I will show you the path to mastering self-discipline." And so they walked together through the misty woods, as Mara imparted 8 key lessons on how to develop self-discipline that would forever change Ethan's life. 1. Create a clear vision of what you want, Mara began. The first step toward discipline is clarity. You cannot move forward if you don't know where you're going. Without a vision, you'll wander aimlessly. Ethan, feeling uncertain, asked, "But how do I know what my true goals are?" She smiled and pointed to the horizon. "Look at the sunrise. It may seem distant, but every step you take brings you closer. Start by defining what success looks like for you, not in terms of what others want, but in terms of your own passion and purpose." Ethan understood. He needed to set clear, specific goals. Whether it was finishing a novel he had long wanted to write, running a marathon, or mastering a new skill, his path would need direction. He began writing down his goals that very night, each one as vivid as the rising sun on that morning walk. 2. Break large tasks into smaller, manageable steps. As they continued through the woods, Mara shared another vital lesson. Discipline doesn't require conquering mountains all at once. Break your goals into smaller, bite-sized pieces. Ethan thought about his many unfinished projects. "How do I eat an elephant?" she asked, knowing full well the frustration he often felt about the enormity of his aspirations. "Piece by piece," she replied. "Start with one simple task. Make it so small that it's impossible to fail. Once you accomplish that, move on to the next small task. Before long, you'll see the bigger picture coming into focus." Ethan took her words to heart. He now had a system where each goal was split into manageable, actionable tasks. His project of writing a novel, which once seemed like a Herculean task, now became a matter of writing just 1 page a day. 3. Develop a routine and stick to it. As they moved deeper into the woods, Mara led Ethan to a clearing where the forest seemed to breathe in harmony. "Nature follows routines," Mara said. "The seasons change, the sun rises and sets, and the moon follows its path. To be disciplined, you must create your own routines and stick to them, no matter what." Ethan was intrigued. He had always felt that routines were boring and restrictive. But Mara explained, "Routines are not prisons. They are the structure within which freedom thrives. When you know what you are supposed to do, you can focus your energy on doing it well." Ethan took Mara's advice and began to wake up at the same time every day, write at a specific hour, and dedicate his evenings to reading or learning something new. Slowly but surely, his discipline began to grow. 4. Practice the art of delayed gratification. Later, as the sun began to set and the air turned cool, Mara spoke again. "Discipline requires the ability to delay immediate pleasure for long-term gain. This is the essence of self-control." Ethan thought back to his many distractions: video games, social media, and endless scrolling. He was often tempted to indulge in these pleasures, but he knew they took him further from his dreams. Mara continued, "Learn to say no to the things that do not serve your greater purpose. You must cultivate the strength to withstand temporary desires in favor of what matters most. Ethan felt the truth of her words. It was time to stop chasing fleeting pleasures and start making sacrifices that would lead him closer to his goals. He began to turn off his phone, limit his time online, and focus on the tasks that required his full attention. 5. Stay accountable, seek support. As they walked through the forest, Mara spoke of the importance of community. Even the strongest among us need support. To strengthen your discipline, you must stay accountable to others. Ethan nodded, thinking of his past attempts to work alone. But what if I let others down? Accountability is not about fear, Myra said. It's about support. When you tell someone about your goals, they help you stay on track. They cheer you on when you're down, and they remind you of your purpose when you falter. Ethan reached out to a close friend and shared his goals. He also joined a writing group where each member shared their progress and encouraged one another. The sense of community and support lifted Ethan's spirit and gave him the push he needed to keep going. 6. Embrace failure as part of the journey. The path they walked down became steeper, and the air seemed to grow thicker with every step. Discipline also means accepting that failure is part of the journey, Maria said, looking down at Ethan with wise eyes. Ethan hesitated. But isn't failure something to avoid? Mara smiled gently. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Without failure, you cannot learn and grow. It teaches you resilience and fortitude. Embrace it when it comes, learn from it, and move forward with greater wisdom. This wisdom resonated deeply with Ethan. In the past, he had been afraid of failing, so he often avoided tasks altogether. Now he welcomed the idea that mistakes were opportunities to learn rather than obstacles to success. 7. Cultivate patience and persistence. As their walk drew to an end, Mara stopped and pointed toward a grand oak tree. Look at that tree. It didn't grow in a day, nor did it sprout overnight. It grew slowly, steadily, over many years. Ethan looked at the tree with newfound understanding. Patience, Mara said, is an essential part of discipline. The best things in life take time to build. Do not rush your progress. Ethan thought about the many times he had wanted instant results. But now he understood that true success required persistence. Every small effort, made consistently over time, would lead him to the results he desired. At the end of the second night, he reached the door to his apartment, and he opened it. Depression rode him to the bottom of his heart because his head felt as though it were about to fall off. 8. Celebrate your progress. Finally, as they neared the edge of the forest, Mara offered one last lesson. Do not forget to celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Acknowledge each step forward, for it reinforces the habit of discipline. Ethan smiled, realizing that he had often been too hard on himself, focusing only on the end goal. He began to celebrate his victories, writing a chapter, completing a workout, staying off his phone for an hour. These small celebrations created positive momentum, fueling his drive to continue. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ethan looked at Mara with gratitude. Thank you, he said. I have learned so much. My path is clearer and my purpose is stronger. Mara smiled warmly. The path to self-discipline is not easy, but it is worth it. Continue on it, and you will discover a strength within you that you never knew existed. As Ethan made his way home, he felt a shift within himself. His journey toward self-discipline had only just begun, but the lessons Mara had shared would guide him every step of the way. He understood now that discipline wasn't about restriction or deprivation. It was about freedom. The freedom to live his life according to his highest ideals and deepest values. And so, Ethan took the first steps toward building the life he had always dreamed of. One small, disciplined action at a time. Self-discipline is a skill that can be learned and mastered, just like any other. By creating a clear vision, breaking goals into manageable steps, developing a routine, embracing delayed gratification, seeking accountability, learning from failure, cultivating patience, and celebrating progress, you can unlock your full potential. Ethan's journey reminds us that discipline is not a one-time achievement but a lifelong practice, a practice that empowers us to shape our future and reach our dreams. Thanks for watching. Stay driven, stay focused, and remember, success is just one step away. See you in the next video.